Thaveesha Jinadasa, welcome to the show all the way from Australia.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, so we're going to be talking about the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. Craving on watching the most?
I think probably if we look at it from like a high-profile standpoint, Bayern City, most definitely.
All right, so we're going to be talking about that at the end. So firstly, we're going to be talking about Inter versus Benfica, Napoli versus AC Milan, Real Madrid versus Chelsea, and finally Bayern versus City. Okay, so Inter versus Benfica. I'm pretty sure that, well, all football fans can agree that maybe that's the most, I wouldn't say underwhelming match, but we could see a lot more preference given to other matchups. But this one looks like it's just up in the air, right? What are your thoughts on Inter versus Benfica?
So what I think is that Benfica is a very high-speed, high-attacking team that presses well, whereas Inter, as we saw against the Spurs, they have a really good defense and they grinded out that to come across the line. So yeah, it's attack versus defense is what this matchup will typically be.
All right, so let me pull some facts from the two teams. So Inter have not been doing that well compared to their previous season, or rather, the previous season and the season before that when they won the Serie A. This time they are trailing Napoli by 18 points as of last match day. And it is pretty underwhelming, but they still have a chance to go for European glory. On the other hand, we have Benfica who are doing okay. Well, they've lost their key players. Last season, they've lost Darwin Núñez to Liverpool. They've lost Enzo Fernandez this season to Chelsea.
I said key players. I'm joking.
Key players. Do you want me to remind you who scored?
I'm joking.
Okay. Then we'll head into the discussion. But that is how it looks. And you agree that it's just up in the air, this one?
I think, it is up in there. It all depends on the day, how each team plays. I think the home fixtures will be key and how, especially for Inter, this will play as an advantage because those Italian crowds get very rowdy. But you can't count Benfica out there because they have a number of players extremely in form. You've got João Mario, who's got 5 goals, 5 assists. Rafa Silva, 3 goals, 2 assists. And probably one of the most high-profile nines in Europe right now in Gonzalo Ramos, who's been performing well for Portugal and now for Benfica as well. So, and he's on the radar of a lot of English clubs. So we'll see how this might be an audition for what is to come.
Yeah, of course. And just remind our viewers that Gonzalo Ramos was actually he's the first player since Pele to score a hat-trick on his debut in the World Cup finals. That is the final stage of the World Cup. And it does look like it's up in there, but there are a lot of high-profile players you have for Inter. You have Lautaro Martinez for Inter. Again, you have Lukaku, right? And Çalhanoğlu and Andre Onana, they are goalkeepers. So it does look like there is a match to be seen here, but a lot of people are saying maybe Benfica might edge this based on Inter's, their domestic season. But that's Inter versus Benfica. Not too much to talk about it, but it's the repeat of the 1965 European Cup final. That's the significance behind this one. 1965.
Did Benfica win that? Because Benfica have European trophies, right? Yeah, I think Benfica won.
It's actually Benfica did win that, I suppose, because 19. Yeah.
Because Benfica do have European championships, and I don't remember Inter winning one. I can't remember. Probably.
Benfica do have 3, I think. 3.
Inter have had a number of strong teams, but I don't think they performed significantly.
Inter won that 1-0.
Oh, they won? Oh, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
Oh, they did?
Yep. But yeah, that's up in the air. So we'll go to the next one, and that also includes an Italian side, actually two Italian sides, AC Milan versus Napoli. So we had that matchup a few days ago on Sunday. That was quite a battering, Thaveesha. It was 4-0 to AC Milan.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Napoli, even though it was a Napoli home game, I feel like they weren't like playing according to their usual selves. Maybe they were resting players. Maybe they were hiding strats. I don't know. On the day, maybe because they were looking forward to the matchup. But I feel like this is not a typical Napoli performance, and we might see the real Napoli come the UCL, because now that they know that they're going to win the league, that they'll be putting all their focus on trying to win the Champions League as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, if you look at that, like this Napoli team, like if you look at the start of the season, they lost Koulibaly, their best defender. They lost Dries Mertens. They lost who is the highest goal scorer of all time. They lost Lorenzo Insigne, who is the Italian number 10 and one of the key players.
Yeah.
But I think, Kavinka, they found a diamond in the rough.
Oh, yeah. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. I got his name right probably after 3 tries. And I am well versed in his name right now. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. But he is one of your favorite players to watch this season. Tell us about him.
Yeah, undoubtedly. Because as many call him Quaradona compared to Maradona. So he actually came into Napoli from a Georgian mid-level side, and which goes to show how great the scouting system in Napoli is.
Mm-hmm.
And just for a mere 10 million euros as well, which goes to show how good he has been. Currently, almost 12 goals, 10 assists, which shows how that his link up with Osimhen, who's another key player.
Yeah,
probably the second best number 9 in Europe right now. So those are two great. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I remember Victor Osimhen coming from Wolfsburg for 70 million euros, right? And at that time, I think he was the highest ever paid African player, paid for, like Napoli paid for 70 million. They got Victor Osimhen, and he didn't shine too much in his first season. And I think he came like 3 years ago to Napoli, but it was evident that he needed a strike partner, and who better than to get someone who gives you assists and who is that playmaking player in Kvicha Kvaratskhelia.
Yes. I feel like he's like an early version of pre-Barca Neymar, if you can see it.
Santos Neymar.
Like, yeah, Santos Neymar. Like when he just came to Europe, like first season Neymar.
Yeah.
Like diamond in the rough, cutting in, like curling those into the corners, those dribble moves. I see pre-Barca Neymar in Kvaratskhelia right now.
That's one big call. Abhishek, would you take that?
Thing is, I'm sorry, but I've not watched Napoli play much this season. But clearly, Thaveesha knows what he's talking about, because he's giving some very nice insight, in my opinion. And if we see something, I think we should take his word for it. We will see. Yeah. If he's going to make his name, we will see him next season, in the seasons to come. That's how football works. These players who are promising, when they start performing, their name comes up, and people start recognizing them. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, 3 Italian sides in the last 8 for the first time in 16 years. And AC Milan, this is the first time that AC Milan has come to the quarterfinals. I believe it's for like 12 years. Yeah, 2012. And the last time, and in 2007, which the year that they won, that was, you can take inspiration from that also. So AC Milan, Napoli, it's an all-Italian affair.
Who did they beat, Kavinka? I can't remember. Just check and see who
beat Liverpool. And I am not afraid to say that, because they played a really good side. I mean, it was reminiscent of the 2005 AC Milan side.
They lost that.
Quite possibly like a copy and paste. but it was a good match. But yeah, credit to them. Will we see AC Milan become 8-time champions? Let's just take a call on this. Thaveesha, what do you think?
I'm gonna say no. I'm going to say no here.
Abhishek,
that's got the. Yeah.
I'm going to hope and pray no, because all the teams who are around Barca, they were all tied on 5 Champions Leagues, and AC Milan was 7, and now Bayern got 6, Liverpool got 6, and if AC Milan gets 1 more, it's 8, and then it's just the teams that were close by to Barca, they're all pulling away, and Barca is still stuck on 5. So I hope not.
Yeah, Thaveesha, you were about to say something.
Oh no! Can we commend Zlatan Ibrahimovic's longevity? Like, he's currently in the highest pinnacle of football, whereas certain 35-plus-year-olds are now in oil money deserts. I'm not going to mention names, but yeah.
I wish Avishka was on this. Our friend Avishka, by the way, but I don't think you guys know him, but I wish he was there.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Kavinka, can we get him? Avishka, are you available for another episode? I want to see how.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's usually me, and I'm usually targeted for being biased on a podcast. So I would like to have a fellow joker.
Listen. Let's just call this skill-based matchmaking, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Okay.
Anyway.
Let's go for it.
Anyway, so you were talking about Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and I think he has good squad around him in the form of Rafael Leao, Brahim Diaz, good players that can change the game. Rafael Leao, of course, is on a roll, and I think he's really fun to watch. Like, you will see him smile every time he has the ball, and the guy plays with pure joy. So definitely looking forward to that. AC Milan versus Napoli.
Yeah.
The next one is quite crunchy, I would say. Real Madrid versus Chelsea. Chelsea just appointed a caretaker manager, or rather interim manager, in the form of Frank Lampard. Yeah, he's back. And last time Frank Lampard was a part of a Chelsea squad, that Chelsea team went on to win the Champions League. See, I'm not going to play in any superstitions here, but I think Chelsea have a side good enough to beat them. It's just that, do they have the right tactics? And I think Abhishek can speak to us about Real Madrid, because he follows Barcelona, and of course Barcelona's prime rivals, Real Madrid. So Abhishek, do you think that there can be a chink in the armor that Chelsea can exploit?
There is a chink in the armor, because like I said, I've been saying for some time, this is nothing against Real Madrid, because I think what they do, they're brilliant at it. But in terms of skill, Real Madrid, sometimes if you take per player, sometimes they won't be able to match up with the opposite player they play against. But it's just how good they are as a team and how they believe in their system. They can sit back and they can absorb all the pressure in the world. They can just keep on taking the pressure of like balls coming to the box, shots on target. They will keep on, absorbing all that pressure. And it's just that one turnover where someone gets the ball, Modric, Valverde, Rodrigo, they'll make a small run. Vinicius is already dashing down, the left flank. They just play the long ball. Vinicius gets the ball, cuts through. Benzema's waiting, and there's the goal. And Madrid believe in the system so much. They don't care. I criticize them sometimes saying, they don't play football. But who cares? It doesn't matter. As hard as it is to say it, they've got a brilliant system of playing, and they know how to get results. So Chelsea, they played Real last season. Was it? Yeah, they played Real last season under a more, nothing against Frank Lampard, but a more experienced manager in Tuchel, and they couldn't get the job done when they had a bit of an advantage at the bridge. I just don't see them doing it now with this team that hasn't been playing well, that has had no, tooth in attack. They're basically toothless in their attack. They've not scored goals in the first half. That was a stat, I think, for the last 10 Premier League games, they haven't scored a goal in the first half. I think that was the stat. I don't know whether it's correct or not, but regardless, it goes to show that they are struggling to score goals. Okay, and Real can score goals, and they're very strong tactically, defensively. Okay, they have a plan, they stick to that. They don't care who they're playing against. And a good example was the Barcelona game just 2 days back where we lost 4-0. Barcelona had beaten Real Madrid in the past 2 games. Xavi had a good idea on how to manage them, but they rallied. They came up with a new plan, and they managed to mitigate the Barca threat and win 4-0, which is massive, for a team that has not conceded any goals, close to no goals in La Liga. So I don't see Chelsea beating them. I really wish they would, because I don't want Real Madrid getting past the quarterfinals. Because of course I don't want them to get past the quarterfinals, but I really don't see it happening. It just doesn't happen for me.
Listen, I have a counter.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, so I have a kind of a counter. I agree absolutely with whatever was said. So I have a counter argument, because let's look at the players who came in. You got Enzo, you got Mudryk, you got Felix. They are typically players who are not assimilated to the Premier League. They can't deal with the physicality. Felix has 2 goals. Mudryk has 0. Enzo has 0. But the reason they were brought in, Enzo played superb for Benfica last season in the Champions League. Mudryk played amazing for Shakhtar. And the reason he was seen by both Arsenal and Chelsea, especially in those montages, were in the Champions League. Felix has a track record of scoring against Real Madrid in La Liga. So I don't know. I know they are not currently in form. I know they are not firing. So I listened to a recent interview by Christian Pulisic as well, and he said that they were in a similar situation. They were really bad in the league previously, but they did come back to the Champions League and they won against better opposition. So I don't know. I see
it is possible.
It is possible, but with this current Real Madrid team.
Yeah, sorry, Thaveesha, go on. I'll speak after you.
No, but with this current Real Madrid team, it will be a little difficult, because no matter how good the offense is, that Chelsea defense is just leaking goals. But they do have someone who just came in to the side in N'Golo Kante, who actually held Liverpool to a draw as well. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, look, the Champions League is all about, it's just 13 matches in the Champions League. And when you go to the quarters, it's 6 or 7. So you just have to have 7 good games. I know it's easy said than done, but it's just 6 or 7 good games, opposed to a league where it's 38. So Chelsea can turn up, and Lampard might instill something in them, some kind of philosophy, and they can turn up against something. But I just don't see it, because one, Ancelotti has been working with this team for such a long time. His team's strengths and weaknesses, okay? And like we said, as much as I hate to say it, it's the truth. Real in the Champions League, they're just mentality monsters, aren't they? They know to get a result against any team. They have done it against the best teams in Europe last season, okay? Beating Liverpool, City, PSG. Forget PSG, but City and Liverpool were arguably the best teams in Europe last season, okay? But Real found a way. So it's just that mentality. They know how to eke a result out, okay? They just know how to create something out of nothing. You would see sometimes, like, a team will have the position of the ball for like 89 minutes of the game, but the score would be like 3-1 to Real Madrid. So you just know how to pick those 1 or 2 moments and make it count. They pick those 1 or 2 moments and make it count. That's the key thing. Whereas other teams need a few chances, to get things going their way. They will have that one chance, but that one chance, they put it away. And that's where, I feel like Real have the strength. And if my Barca fans see me talking like this about Real Madrid, they'll probably shoot me, but unfortunately, it's the truth.
I know this won't happen, but what are the odds on Eden Hazard coming off the bench and scoring a winner for Real Madrid against Chelsea?
The fact that he needs to be fit for the game itself.
That's true.
Probably out there, right? It is slim, but you can't take away those things. It's the Champions League, and anything can happen in the Champions
League.
Storylines are made.
Hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for Chelsea turning up at the Bernabeu and thrashing Real like 7-0 or something like that. No. Lampard, you do it if you can, but I don't think it will happen. Okay.
Maybe not 7-0, but
No, I don't care if it's 1-0. They can park the bus for like own goal by someone. I don't care. Just knock them out, but it probably won't happen.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Karim Benzema, Ramadan Karim. or should I say Ramadan Benzema.
Ramadan Karim.
He's
Ramadan
he's
Karim,
sort of
yeah.
a like what is this seasonal Karim Benzema that we're seeing?
No, he just turns up. He
It
just
is
turns
Karim
up.
Benzema.
Yeah.
Sorry, Thaveesha, go ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, okay. I was just going to say that it is Benzema of recent. He's just been so pivotal to their success, Real Madrid.
89 goals,
And
by
he's
the way,
been
in the Champions League.
arguably here and there, arguably the best player in like the last 2 seasons. And really, you can't take anything away from him. He turns up for Real, and he's not young. He's like 34 or something like that. But he just finds a way of scoring goals. And again, as much as it hurts, like the way he's playing, the way he can turn a game around, it has to be applauded. Because again, what's the thing, right? It's like they just want to get a result. They want to get that result somehow, and they'll do anything to it. They get the smallest chance, they make it count. And Benzema is the epitome of that, in my opinion. He will latch on to anything and try to finish it off. And so Benzema deserves all the praise he gets because he's been outstanding as a football player, and he has been exemplary. And he's also a role model to many players, just like Messi and Ronaldo.
Something I think we shouldn't rule out, the fact that Vinicius has sort of come of age. He's taking that role. I think he is the successor to Neymar's Brazilian role, because Neymar is now getting so many more injuries, and honestly, I can feel that the Brazilian fans have sort of like let go of that whole, Neymar, he's going to lead us to World Cup glory sort of thing, because Vinicius has come up, and we can't ignore how much he's grown, because I'm pretty sure everyone, I mean, you two can also attest to this, that Vinicius did not do well in his first season. His second season,
first few seasons, because there's that infamous conversation Karim Benzema has with, I can't remember who. I said, I swear on my mother's life,
it was against Fernand Mendy. So he said, "Don't on my mother's life." Yes.
He's playing against her.
Don't pass to Vinicius.
Crazy how that dynamic has changed. You see how both of them are like hanging out. The both of them leading the charge for Real Madrid. And you're right, Kavinka. I think Barca fans are currently really annoyed with Vinicius for his behavior last 2 days ago. But that's his job in a way. Antagonize and create that bit of disruption. You can't have it against him. It's the same with Gavi. We love Gavi for his fighting spirit, but I'm pretty sure like opposition fans hate the living daylights out of him. We love it, but that's just the name of the game.
So,
but just to add, like without taking that away, the way he's grown and the way he's integrated himself to become a key part, along with Benzema in that Real Madrid lineup, thoroughly impressive. It's from a footballing side, it's great to see. I mean, he has come under. I think it's unnecessary, like the criticisms he gets and like for celebrating and stuff. People are having racial, attacks towards him, which I think is not fair at all. Yes, okay, fine, he's a rival and stuff, but that's all it should be, nothing else. No, you should not act in an inhuman way just because you don't like someone because he plays for a rival team. But the way he's grown again, as hurts to say it, but brilliant stuff.
Personally,
of course, go ahead.
Personally, something I enjoyed seeing from the last round was Vinicius turning Trent Alexander-Arnold into a traffic cone.
We all love that. Don't worry. That's okay. I don't like Real Madrid. But it was nice to see some Liverpool
that
was beautiful.
No,
I mean,
the only solution that is turning him into a midfielder, dude. If that is the caliber
I agree.
Which he's going to face, I can only imagine what he'll be doing later in his career. He has to be a midfielder. He's a good player, but when push comes to shove, you have to get solutions, and that solution is to turn him into a midfielder. Anyway,
do you believe that he'll stand a better chance against Reece James now that he's going to be going up against that?
Well, Reece James is not on that wing, right?
He's right back.
Not the right.
Yeah, he is on the right. So He's
Vinicius
gonna
is
be
on
Yeah. So
Vinicius on
either
left.
side.
Yeah. No.
What do you
yeah.
mean, like take on? Like do you mean like take ons?
So Reece James will directly defend against Vinicius Junior
Yeah.
because
Versus
Vinicius plays
Vinicius
on the
Junior.
left wing.
Yeah. Versus Vinicius. Yes.
See, Reece James is much more physical. Would I say he's faster? No, I'd probably say he's same in the category of Trent Alexander-Arnold, but he has cover. Something that Liverpool found out with Konate last season. Konate only produced that cover for Vinicius, for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and here also you find cover. You can even put Aspilicueta. Aspilicueta can play with his brains
Mm.
against
Agree.
Vinicius. I mean, he's defended a whole lot of people. Aspilicueta has defended against. I was going to say Hazard, but he's defended against those types of players. And Aspi is there. Koulibaly is also there. I was going to say John Terry, but you have those sorts of players. You have those sorts of players. And I think Chelsea is just a matter of tactics too. This entire matchup, Real Madrid versus Chelsea, it's not the attack. It's look, all these sides, both these sides have the attack sorted. They have the midfield sorted. They have the defense. It's just the tactics.
Do they do? I just don't think.
Will
I don't
Ancelotti
find,
raise his eyebrow even and just sort out tactics? Who knows?
No, but I don't know. I know. I think I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like Chelsea's attack is not real. I mean, they have the talent. That's one thing, but
Yeah.
they haven't been firing, have they? Recently.
Absolutely not.
I mean,
absolutely not.
No, because look at Liverpool. Liverpool are struggling defensively, aren't they? But it was a goalless draw against Liverpool. So I don't know. I just don't. I don't know whether I'm just not seeing something, but again, like I saw Enzo playing the World Cup. The guys was brilliant for Argentina, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and they have others. They have people like Sterling, proven players in the Premier League who have like great goal scoring records, but they just don't have the goals to show for it in this season. So I don't know. I feel like it looks to be a Real Madrid win, not like looks to be a win. But
honestly,
I
I've
what
seen
you said about brains. Sorry, that was just one thing. Like because the same.
Yeah, go ahead.
Same with Araujo, because Araujo managed to mitigate Vinicius for 3 of the 4 games, and he's not exactly the fastest player. He can generate some decent plays,
exactly.
But he's not as fast as Vinicius. But he was very good in placing himself. He always placed himself in a way that Vinicius' threat was mitigated. So yeah, if Reece James can do that, you can mitigate the Vinicius threat.
Yeah. So
Thaveesha, sorry. I'm
it's a point. I think Thaveesha also agrees on this. The point that how to defend against Vinicius. How do you defend against players who are silky smooth with the ball and can run fast? I'm pretty sure people who defend against Kvaratskhelia also approach this game similarly. You can't stay close to your man. I mean, I played football and I've been coached on how to defend against fast players because those guys are fast, right? Wingers, they're really fast. And how do you defend against players like Vinicius? You don't stick to them. You need to stay away from them. You need to have your eyes on them almost all the time. We saw that last season in the Champions League final. Trent Alexander-Arnold just took his eyes away off Vinicius just for like 5 seconds, and that's it. Goal scored, tie won, Real Madrid champions.
By the way, that you could have seen that coming from like last year. I mean, like the previous year, or the previous century, if you want to call it. But it still happened.
But something that I just want to pitch forward. This is the 3rd consecutive season we are seeing Chelsea versus Real Madrid. This is what the Super League wants to remedy, right?
That's true.
But do you think that the Super League might remedy this? Because we're looking at the same teams play over and over again. It's the same thing.
Isn't that what the Super League wants? They want to see Real Madrid versus Chelsea like every other week or something, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's something like that.
They do want it. But again, it's the same thing. It's kind of boring, right? When you get it every season, you just know, okay, book a Real Madrid versus Chelsea matchup this season.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's also
Unfortunately, Barcelona also.
something to consider.
I
Anyway,
think the Super League is for another conversation. We just
it is for another
There's too many
conversation.
things to
Yeah.
talk about.
Anyway, so we're going to be seeing experience versus new boys. And what I mean by that is Real Madrid experience in form of Karim Benzema, Modric, Kroos,
Yeah.
those players versus the likes of João Felix, Kai Havertz, the new guys, the younger ones. And so this now we talk about Manchester City versus Bayern Munich. This is probably the biggest matchup because we're not only seeing Manchester City versus Bayern Munich, not like financial powerhouse versus financial powerhouse. We're seeing Tuchel versus Frank Lampard. Okay, Tuchel, former
Pep Guardiola.
Chelsea manager, won the Champions League
Guardiola.
with Chelsea.
Yeah.
Sorry. So what am I talking about? Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
Well, we got too much into the whole Chelsea thing. Anyway,
Yeah.
Tuchel versus Pep Guardiola. Tuchel knows how to play Pep Guardiola. If there's any manager who Pep Guardiola might be scared about, it is Thomas Tuchel. And Thomas Tuchel knows that Pep is prone to overthinking some things and probably even throwing the whole thing away. We saw that in the Champions League final, the 2020-21 Champions League final, if I'm not mistaken. And
Yep.
Chelsea won that thanks to a very... See, on paper, it looks like an easy 1-0 goal, right? But these are the kind of tactics you need to play against Pep Guardiola. Timo Werner ran in behind John Stones, I think, and put out John Stones out of position, which enabled Kai Havertz to get Mason Mount's pass and go on to score and win that. That's
Which
exactly...
wouldn't have happened if he played Fernandinho instead of playing Gunnar,
Yeah.
because Fernando would have covered that off. You know.
Yeah, probably.
And
yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, but when we had a Twitter, what was it called?
Live.
Twitter Space, right?
Space, yeah.
And when we got the lineup, I said, okay, he's not playing Fernandinho. This is going to end up bad. I don't know if you remember that, but I can't predict.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, Thaveesha, so Bayern versus City, you said you're looking forward to this the most.
Yes.
From this matchup, who do you see shining?
As a player or as the team, from a team sense? From player, I see from Bayern, I see someone like a Musiala.
Alright.
Whereas from like if you look at the Bayern defense, maybe someone like an Upamecano. But if we look at City, I see someone like Alvarez coming off the bench. And you obviously have to look at Haaland and De Bruyne. You don't look beyond them. But like you told me earlier, you can't go past Gundo. Gundo's probably the key in this matchup. He knows his German teammates. He knows how they play. Yes. And there's one person who played for both teams in João Cancelo, who's got something personal with Pep, which was why he left. So this is the Cancelo derby.
The Cancelo derby.
That's a good one.
Of course.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Erling Haaland versus, I don't know, probably the whole front.
Choupo-Moting.
We're talking about Thomas Muller versus Kevin De Bruyne. That is going to be super
Yeah.
deep, I should say. And Bayern will be looking to replicate their 2020 success. Manchester City still going on for their first European title. See, this is what you have to do to become a European champion, beat the best. We saw that with Real Madrid last season. They beat the best to become European champions. They beat City, they beat Chelsea, they beat Liverpool, and eventually became champions.
And PSG.
And PSG as well. And PSG as well. You
cannot count PSG. That is a dysfunctional setup. I'm not going to say anything past that.
And of course, that is what is required to become champions. And Pep Guardiola has to overcome this challenge. And as if the task wasn't hard enough, wasn't arduous enough, Thomas Tuchel has just come in and said, okay, boys, we're going to face Manchester City next time. So just a bit about this tie. So I'm pretty sure this is the first time they're meeting since the last decade. And I think Bayern did edge them out in that tie.
Yeah.
But we're coming into new teams, and probably Thomas Muller is the only one remaining from that particular season. And of course, Manuel Neuer. So we are still talking about two fresh sides, two fresh players. A lot of things are coming into my head at this point, but it's just the pure quality that these teams have, right? But at the same time, it's just about locking those players. Now, I mentioned, Thaveesha, that Gundogan must do a good job at locking Kimmich up, and Kimmich must do a good job locking Gundogan up, or like Goretzka must do a good job at locking KDB, because you offer one piece of space to KDB, he's going to produce an exquisite ball to Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland's not going to make a mess of it, right?
Yeah, another two people I see who are key to this are Kingsley Coman and Leroy Sané. How they will be attacking down the wings, because that speed and how, like, the current opposition which City has been dealing with has not been the same. It's not been Sané and Kingsley Coman, and you get Serge Gnabry coming off the bench as well to go through the middle. So,
question: am I missing something? Is Mane injured?
He is kind of. Yeah.
Is he injured?
He's day by day.
I was thinking that he will play.
No, dude, it's like, see, there are rumors of Mane not wanting to come back, but Liverpool wanted to snap him in, because it's just not working out for them that much in Germany.
Yeah.
It's not like there is any like bad terms with Mane and Bayern Munich. It's just that
not working out.
Yeah, it's just that it's not working out in the sense that he does come on, he does play, but that's not his system. That I would say Mane was probably the first or second best player along with Salah in Liverpool, right? But then you come to Bayern Munich, dude, you have your backup as Kingsley Coman, and on the other side you have Leroy Sané, and in the middle you have Thomas Muller. That is a team for you. So when you're coming in there, you're expecting to be the best, but then you're like third best or second best. So
far cry from Harvey Elliott and Roberto Firmino.
Hey, whoa. I will not tolerate Roberto Firmino slander, but Harvey Elliott, I understand. Right?
Yeah.
I remember how Kavinka used to, at one point when Harvey Elliott burst onto the scene, he was the next Iniesta, Xavi and Gerrard combined for Kavinka.
But yeah.
Let's go back to that.
So yes,
I don't know.
So Bayern do have a squad, City do have a squad. It's just a full explosive impact football on that day, and you best believe fireworks are bound to happen in Manchester and Munich as well. But I think Bayern might edge this one out solely based on their home advantage and the fact that
Tuchel's first few games in charge, I think it was two wins and one loss, and that one loss they got knocked out of the German Cup by Freiburg. So
yeah, it's tough. It's tough. No. The thing is, I mean, again, it's the whole question with Tuchel, because Tuchel came into that Chelsea side and somehow managed to get them to the Championship final and win it. And Bayern are not really playing well in the Bundesliga, are they? They are currently their first years. They thrashed Dortmund to get first, but it's not been plain sailing. Usually you see them like at least 8 to 10 points ahead. But they are not. But if you look at the Champions League record, it's 100%. They won all their games, if I'm not mistaken. They've not lost anything for sure. They're not drawn anything. Yeah. They beat Barca and beat Inter and got out of the group stage with like a perfect record. Yeah, there are 8 wins in 8 games. So it's a really tough one. But I'm going to going on the opposite side of coming, I think that City have the edge, and it's City's game to lose, because if you look at the squad and who they have at their disposal, especially with Haaland. Okay, Haaland has lost a bit of form in the Premier League. He's not scored as many goals, maybe.
Yeah.
But he scored the 5 against, was it Leverkusen?
Yeah. It was.
No, sorry, it's Leipzig. Right? Leipzig. Yeah, scored that 5 against Leipzig, and then another hat trick in the FA Cup. Dude, just Haaland, because it's what we've been saying all this time. Like, he is the final jigsaw in that puzzle of Manchester City, because Manchester City had creativity coming from, I don't know, from the left, from the right, from behind, from everywhere on the pitch. They just needed that one guy to finish it off, and Erling Haaland is that guy. I just said Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland is that
guy.
Is that guy, because the guy is a poacher. But the way I see it is, Bayern again are a solid team. They are not pushovers by any stretch. They have, like I said, they have the best record in the Champions League so far, and they have a guy in Tuchel who is well experienced in taking a team to a Champions League final and winning. He did it with Chelsea. He can do it with Bayern, because I think that's a better squad.
Yeah,
but I just think if City messes up, there has to be some serious questions.
I think Pep's job is in danger if City mess this up, man. I think so, because you've been given a war chest and you go sign Alvarez. I know Alvarez and Erling Haaland weren't the most expensive duo to sign, because they've gone and signed them for 70 million, both of them. Yeah. But then again, man, you have unlimited expense investment, and you sign 2 good strikers and still come up.
The question
short.
is their defense, right? The defense. I mean,
their defense is.
They're not. It's not that it's bad, but it's not the best it's been. That there are chinks in that armor, maybe here and there, and stuff that Bayern can exploit, because they got so much pace on their wings. With, like you said, especially with Sane on the left and Serge Gnabry plays on the right. You got pace there, and even with Coman, he can cause problems. So that's where they need, a bit of cover. And that's why he has to play a CDM for somehow. But I still see City has, they have to win this game. Even if I'm not going to say it's a walk in the park. It's going to be tough because it's Bayern Munich. They're, like Kavinka said, at home they are almost untouchable.
Yeah.
But City just have a bit more in their arsenal, to get through. So they should get through. And if they don't...
Just going on European pedigree for Bayern Munich.
For sure, maybe, yeah. I mean, Bayern... I'm not saying Bayern, has no shout. It's a 50-50 game. But I would say 50.0001, 2. That makes the other one 49%. But still, just that small edge has to go to City because of, just a slight better squad.
All right, so
like you said. I have one hot take.
Tell me. Tell us.
I feel like with Haaland coming in, City got worse.
I'm going to get on that, and I'm going to say I don't agree with that, because
listen. Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me give my argument. Okay.
Hold on. Tell us why. Justify your statement. Haaland and City got worse.
Okay, so Haaland has currently 42 goals right now, okay? But with Gabriel Jesus and them in front, City probably, they have more goals for, aggregate as per the team. Whereas currently, they have lesser goals for this season than the previous season. Despite Haaland having 42, everyone else has lacked off. It's only KDB, probably Jack Grealish, coming in here and there. You got Julian Alvarez, who's second with 13. Foden, who's fallen out with Pep right now and is not even featuring in the lineup. So he's third. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you're effectively saying that everyone has just slacked off. They're like, okay, goals are not my problem. And
Haaland's become somewhat of a vacuum, I'm telling. There's less distribution. They're just picking balls. If they close out Haaland and if they close out De Bruyne, I feel like City's not surviving.
I mean,
I
they
don't
still
know.
have
Okay,
Riyad Mahrez and Bernardo Silva, and even
See, Riyad Mahrez these days is getting older. He's very streaky. I like Bernardo Silva. He's one of the most fun players to watch. But I don't know, against Bayern, against Kimmich and Co, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But yes, this is
defense. It's the defense, right? That's leaking goals. So who knows? I mean, they were clinical against Liverpool. Like, I have no doubt. Of course, Liverpool played badly, but that game just reminded us that City are City. Like, Manchester City are the Manchester City you've been seeing in the past 10 years. Ruthless, dominant, and out for blood.
Yeah.
No, but it's a good point in terms of, like, you statistically backed it up. But what I'm saying is, what Haaland has become is a focal point for this team. You see, they can create. They create from everywhere. But then the reason why you have so many other goal scorers is because there's not that one person there for them, right? So other people had to do the creating for them. But I think to get the best out of them for what they are there for, Haaland is that answer, because De Bruyne is a creator. You have people like Foden and stuff, they can create chances down the wings, okay? People like Mahrez, people like Bernardo Silva. Maybe scoring goals is a plus, but their primary objective was to create chances. And Haaland, his job is to finish chances. And he's done that, So in that sense, maybe in terms of goals scored, it might be less than last season, but you can't. If Haaland has come and done his job, okay, I don't see how he can be the problem for City not being as good. I don't know. It's just like, because he's doing his job. He scored, like you said, 42 goals, which is ridiculous. Messi-esque name, Messi, Ronaldo-esque numbers.
Yeah. But yeah, the Haaland debate, I think, will be sorted out once the two ties are done. I think first City versus Munich, Bayern play in City first, and then, of course, go to Munich. Tough match. Let's end this, gentlemen, with a quick round of predictions. So I'm going to give you each tie, and y'all are going to predict both the not the first leg, or if you want, you can give the aggregate score. Just give the aggregate score.
That's tough.
And of course, your winner. Okay?
That's really tough. But
all right.
Yep.
So we're going to start with Thaveesha and then Abhishek.
All right.
And you can also pipe in. Don't worry.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You can tell which matchup you want me.
So Inter versus Benfica. Thaveesha.
I'm going to say Benfica edges this.
Score?
3-2 on aggregate.
3-2 on aggregate. Abhishek?
I'm not giving aggregate scores because I just can't. I don't know. You can't just predict those. So I mean, but I think I was going to go for Benfica as well. But since Thaveesha, just to spice it up, but since Thaveesha said Benfica, I'll go with Inter because they have a bit more experience.
Okay.
Yeah. And you?
I'm going to say Benfica wins this 4-2, I would say, comfortably. All right, next one. AC Milan versus Napoli. Thaveesha.
I'm going to go Napoli 3-1 on aggregate.
Abhishek?
I'm going for Napoli as well. Again, no aggregate scores. I'm
going to go for Napoli as well. 3-2 actually. Actually, 4-3.
And I would like to apologize early on to Napoli fans for getting knocked out of the Champions League by AC Milan because we cursed them.
Real Madrid versus Chelsea. Thaveesha.
I'm going to say Real. I'm going to say the attack is going to be too strong and it's going to be a 5-2.
5-2. Jeez, Real. Yeah. Okay, so Abhishek.
I'm going to give the aggregate for this. It's going to be Real Madrid 3-2. It will be first leg Chelsea 2-0. Second leg 90 minutes 2-0 up to Chelsea. 95 minutes 3-2 to Real Madrid. Mark my words.
I see that. I see that happening.
I'm just going to go Real Madrid win, not because Chelsea are a Premier League rival, but it's just the fact that Real Madrid are so much better, I think, at this point. So Real Madrid win 6-3.
Yeah, I see that too.
I actually can see that happening. To be honest. Yeah, that's a bit more realistic.
And Bayern
Just going off my
Bayern versus
my former
City.
experiences.
Yeah, Bayern versus City. I'm gonna say KDB and Haaland prevail, and it's gonna be City going 3-2 again.
3-2. Abhishek.
CT, and I think either a 4-3 or penalty shootout.
4-3 or penalty shootout. Okay. Bayern, and I'm going to go with 5-4. Bro, I'm expecting goals in there.
I don't see Bayern having that much output.
Over the both legs, by the way, I'm saying. So I'm
saying
you could have a 3-2 in this play in Munich. So yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Those are predictions.
That is very possible, yes.
But yes, that brings to a conclusion the Champions League quarterfinals episodes. We will probably be having this, and I'm making the announcements right now. We'll probably be having this for the final. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking to see more of you, and more of you on other sports as well on the Grandstand podcast. But
absolutely.
For now, we are finished. And Abhishek, thanks for joining all the way from France. Thaveesha, thank you for joining all the way from Australia, because it's currently the next day or something. I'm pretty sure it's the next day right now.
I am in the future, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. And Shavin is unable to join us because he has a Good Friday duty.
Holy obligation is Good Friday.
Yeah.
But yes, pretty sure everyone's watching this on Easter Sunday as well.
Yeah, just to say, you can catch Shavin and myself on like the Off the Grid episodes on YouTube as well if you want to see Shavin. Yeah.
And
about his
fun, everybody. Take care. And from Thaveesha, Abhishek, Shavin, the absent Shavin, and myself, Kavinka. Take care. See you. Bye-bye.
All right.